Gonna just get the show going. Hey everyone, my name's Jace. I'm a community manager at Coffee Stain Studios. Today we're going to be doing a Q&A video. Haven't done that in a while. Every week on our streams, Tuesday at 4 p.m. CET or CEST, we always have a Q&A section where a lot of people ask questions. And it's nice to answer the questions there, but we only have a few hundred people there. But we have a lot, like tens of thousands of people here on YouTube, and I haven't done Q&As for you guys. So we've put out, the call out on Twitter and Facebook and on YouTube actually, just for you guys to give out some questions, and I'll answer them today in this video. We got a lot, so maybe we can get through it all, depending on editing time, or if some of them are garbage or not. All right, so first question. Will there be a feature added to the multiplayer where each player can place a base at the beginning? Would love to compete with a friend to see who can progress to the final tier. Or in short, can we have competitive multiplayer? Yeah, so this question has been asked quite a few times before, and the answer is basically no. Whenever I take this question and I go to the team and I'm like, could we have it so we can make multiple hubs and people could just like compete with each other? They very quickly say, no! Yeah, then I immediately run away, and so the answer is no, and I'm never going to ask them ever again. I'm sorry. Are there any plans beyond 1.0? Do you see it as a completed game, or will there be some minor maintenance? In short, are we going to maintain the game after 1.0? I think we are. I'm sure there's going to be bug fixes and maybe some tweaks. And, we've talked about, like, could we do some bigger, like, DLCs or something? Just keep in mind that when we work really hard on big DLCs, or if any company works really hard on DLCs, that costs the company money, right? So sometimes they package things in DLC. So we've thought about, like, is that what we want to do? Do we just want to do free updates? We'll kind of see. But I don't think we're just gonna drop it at 1.0 and just be like, okay, bye, we're gonna work on a new game now, like, I don't know, like Goat Simulator 2 or Sanctum 3. Like, we're not just gonna ditch Satisfactory right away. Or that is the plan as it is. How are you? Dead inside. Next question. Do you have a timeline on when you want to start implementing lore? Is it on the near horizon? Yeah, we do have a timeline for lore, and I'm not sure when we're going to start implementing it internally, but it isn't going to come out until 1.0. So that is that plan. So when the game is completed and it drops, you'll also get the entire story instead of like pieces of it over time. So that's how that's going to work out. And when 1.0 is, no one knows. We have an idea, but we're always wrong. I understand that there might not be a release on console anytime soon, but is there any possibility that it might come to PS4 and Xbox? Yeah, so obviously a question asked many times, and as you say there, you know that we've said that it's not going to come anytime soon. There's a decent chance that it might come to the consoles or even other platforms like Mac and Linux, even though Linux can kind of be supported anyway. But it would definitely be cool. There's just a few limitations or questions or things that need to sort of be answered on as for how we would do it. And it may be that it's not going to happen until like after 1.0, I imagine. No one's told me this, but I kind of think so, because making a bunch of changes to the game to be supported on console is a lot of work and doesn't actually add to the game. And let me just explain this. We want to know what features we want to make, and we want to know what balancing we need. And, we need to get story, and we need to fix bugs, and all of that stuff. And that's very hard and takes a lot of our time. But if we were to also do consoles, that's going to take a lot of time. From input, from just it working at all, and then there's certification processes. It takes a really long time. And if we're dedicating a lot of resources to console, then that means we aren't dedicating a lot of resources to bug fixes, to features, to finishing the game. So I don't think that's going to happen before 1.0, but after that, it's absolutely a possibility. There's no decision on that. And you say PS4 and Xbox, but of course it might be PS5 or Xbox One Series X2 105.9. I don't play Xbox. I don't use it. I'm a PlayStation boy. Fanboy. Are there any hidden parts of the map you think that people haven't found? If so, can you give us a clue as to where they might be? Yeah, I don't know if there are hidden parts, but there's some hidden like little Easter eggs, and I know of one. I won't say what it is. There are quite a few things, but there is one. I asked Hannah, and it is she thinks it's in a cave in the grass fields. So you can go to the grass fields and look around for a cave. She actually didn't place it, so she's not 100% sure. It was either the director or the previous director. So, but that's a clue. Check it out. Maybe you'll find it. It should be pretty obvious when you see it. it sticks out pretty. That wasn't a hint, not the sticks out, but it's pretty obvious when you see it. How many likes on this YouTube video for Jace to get fired? 1 like. Can we get more survival features added in a special mode for those of us who want a little more of a challenge? It's an itch I feel nobody has been willing to scratch in gaming. This is something that has been requested quite a bunch. We see it pretty commonly, pretty often, rather. And the answer there is no. I'm pretty sure it's a hard no, and that's not going to change. We don't think that that's part of the game. It's not the focus of the game at all. The main focus of the game is building the factories and etc. And that is a lot of the game. And so one thing we think of there is when we add official mod support, maybe that's something that could be created. There is unofficial mod support, and maybe someone will make that there, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to be dedicating any time for survival aspects of the game. I see Satisfactory as the illegitimate love child of No Man's Sky and Factorio. However, what would you say was your inspiration of making Satisfactory? I actually haven't heard of either of those games. It's just an original idea that we came up with. Someone just brainstormed it out, and here we are. Will there be a 1-to-1 lizard doggo plushie? Probably not, but that would be cool. Or like a statue or something. That would be cool. Figurine. Or even better, a real one. We can just engineer one. We'll get onto that right now. We won't do consoles, but we will dedicate resources to engineering a lizard doggo. Will there be any environmental influences later, like climate change or heat wave storms and so on? This is something that we actually always imagined to be in the game from the very beginning, although many of those things did not turn out, like turrets, for example, which aren't happening. And there were even prototypes of like tornadoes and I think earthquakes is what I think it was earthquakes. But as for now, they've been cut. There's a chance that they'll come back. I think things like pollution has been something that has been both requested and also brainstormed within the company. I can't give you a straight answer there, but I think there's a chance, honestly. I think there's a chance. What is the story with the Mercer Sphere? That would be related to the story. Can't say anything. Will there be achievements? Yeah, there's going to be achievements. I'm pretty sure there's going to be achievements, but it's not something that we're thinking about right now. I mean, they're awesome to have. I'm not sure if Epic has achievements yet, but I'm pretty sure if they don't have it yet, it's going to be on the roadmap. And we also don't want to create achievements until the game is done or balanced in some reasonable way. Like if we had achievements now on production or something like that, or something about the map, or how many Mercer Spheres you've collected, and that changes over time, then like what happens with the achievement? We kind of can't get rid of it. So they're cool to have, but they're not like necessary. So we'll just leave them, just put them aside for now. Can we use turbofuel in jetpacks? Yeah, probably. I think that's something that we're gonna add. We just asked the director before, and he thinks it's going to happen. However, the limitation here is actually a technical one. I think we would have had them by now if we had already solved a problem that we have. So, you know, judging by that answer, it sounds like we're going to have it just when we get around to solving that technical issue, which could be a mix between it's hard and also priority as to what we make, right? So it's like, we've already said previously online, like publicly, that we're going to be making some adjustments to fluids in the next update, which is going to come at the end of October or maybe the beginning of November. We've already said that would be happening. And so it's like, do we allocate resources to that, which is going to be super cool, or just turbo fuel on a jetpack? So that's the balancing act there. Yeah. Will you add pipes? Never. We're never adding pipes. I've told you a million times for years now. We will never add pipes, okay? Just drop it, you guys. Just drop it. Are there any plans to put a blueprint system in the game? Yeah, so for those of you who don't know what a blueprint system in the game, or blueprint system is, in other games, like Factorio, which I never heard of until recently, they have like a blueprint system where you can take a collection of buildings or something like structures or something, and you can set a blueprint for it, and you can just copy paste like larger sections of a factory or something like that, like little modules that you can recreate, which is not the case in Satisfactory. If you want to recreate different systems, you need to hand make everything. This has been asked before many times and has been on Q&As before, but there are many people who didn't see that before. And the thinking right now, it's an ongoing discussion, but it seems like we're strongly leaning towards no blueprints for many reasons. But basically, it seems like it's not something that we want, even though it is highly requested. What about the giant crab in the trailer? Can we get that?
So here's this giant enemy crab.
Yes. Not sure when, but yes, you will get the giant crab. Will there be vehicle optimization for co-op? There's always optimization going on. Vehicles are a big bottleneck, whether it's co-op or not. And so, yeah, probably. Don't know when, don't know how. Optimization is always this weird ongoing issue where you're poking and prodding at random things, and you can't really just be like, I'll do the vehicles right now, give me a sec. Like, it's the problems for optimization is always an issue that you kind of have to solve when you put your head in deep into it. So it's never obvious what you got to do. Any plans to make more randomness, like resource nodes, random start locations, maybe some random world elements? Yeah, so this is definitely a great idea, especially for things like replayability. We've talked about it a lot. I think it just sounds like a great idea, but it seems like we're not interested in doing it anytime soon. The way that it would probably be is as a separate game mode, probably. So it's like a harder mode. Keep in mind, folks, that there are a lot of people who are not hardcore players of the game. Many folks watching this video maybe are more hardcore or asking questions. You're more invested in community and the game itself. So we can't focus just on that. So it may be like, make that the only game mode is what I'm saying, randomness. So it may be that we have to implement game modes, and randomness could be one of them. We do like the idea of game modes, and so I do think that that will come eventually. And like, who knows, maybe there could be mod support for making your own game modes. Like, that'd be cool. So definitely not an impossibility. It would be super cool if we had that. How's life? Dog shit. Will we ever be able to do something with nuclear waste, like shoot it into space or use it for uranium-tipped ammunition? Anything? I'm gonna just sort of confirm-ish something, because we've always said no, like that's just a struggle you have. That's a trade-off for nuclear waste, because it's so like strong that you need to have an offset. But I do think that from what I understand, that there are ideas of how to do that, and so there's a pretty good chance that something will happen. I can't like fully confirm it, but this is like an update on the stance of nuclear waste. So we'll see where that discussion goes. How about watercraft or underwater exploration? This is a pretty hard no. It's something that could maybe happen in the distant future, but one thing you need to keep in mind here is if we have underwater and even just on water to some degree, that means a whole new world like level to create. And we haven't even finished the main world. So that's not something that's going to happen anytime soon, I'm pretty sure. And whenever I talk to Hannah about it, she pretty much just straight up says, no! Any new maps coming? So as I answered just in the previous question, no! Basically, we haven't even finished the current map. So probably not. There has been some talk of it, and it pretty much just gets shot down every time. So I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. What was your thought process behind the design of the engineer character? Will we see character creation? Actually, I will link, or might be able to do the cards. Which side are they on? Here. So the cards will be here. It'll be a link to the developer highlight of our concept artist who basically designed the Pioneer. And you can sort of see a few of the steps there. And she sort of hints to character creation. And that's a great idea. I think at minimum, changing color would happen. Could be good for multiplayer. But there might be more elements of character creation as well. And so as for the thought process, you can see in the video, she just made many kinds and thought this one was cool. What are the community manager's favorite dinosaurs? So mine is the Archaeopteryx. And Snoots is, I mean, the dude's vanilla as fuck, alright? Like, he's like Stegosaurus or a Velociraptor. Boring! Ugh. Is the poison gas going to be hallucinogenic? I'm not sure if you're talking about in-game or in real life, but respectively, no and yes. Does this look infected to you? Will there be more optimization for our low-end PCs, both GPU and CPU side? Yeah, of course, there are constantly optimizations. I know that the optimization front, and yeah, I talked about optimization before, but we'll talk about it a little more. The optimization front is never obvious because optimization is constantly going, but most folks will never realize it because it's tiny, tiny steps. But if you rewind back to 6 months ago and check out the game, you'd notice a huge difference. Or a year ago, it's light years better. Okay, maybe not light years, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but it's better. It's much, much, much better. So yeah, it's one of those things that you can't feel it as, you know, day to day or for every little update, but it is happening. And so we do care about the low NPCs too. We're not just targeting high NPCs. We're not. But high NPCs will always perform better. Will you add cheese? I've always wanted a cooking thing. I wanted cooking where you can get like, oh, this is kind of gross, but what if you could like milk the hogs? And then you could put all your food like biomass and lizard doggo meat in a fridge. Or if you're like vegetarian, you could just be like the nuts and stuff. You put them in a fridge and you have like a stove and you cook food. Like this boring shit about making like stuff at a workshop, it's lame. Kitchen in the hub. Make some noise. Do you plan on adding anything like roads, placeable similarly to rails, but wider? Yeah, so we actually used to have roads way back in the day, like prototypes of them internally before the game even came out. And then they would cut for, I'm not sure if it was technical or design reasons. However, I just asked the director now, and the answer is just a maybe. He has argued for it in the past, but that doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Even if he is the director of the game, he's not like the leader who just leads the way. But so there's a chance for it. Yeah, and that's basically all I got there. I know this is always asked, but what about lights or sleeping through the night? Yeah, so this question has been asked a million times, of course, and the sleeping through the night part, I think the main issue here is that nighttime is too dark or people have like problems with it. So update on lights, we still want to do it, of course. We still think we're gonna have lights at some point, but it's just really hard to do for our game specifically. So we will schedule time in for lights at some point, but we haven't done that yet. As for sleeping through the night, I don't think that that's something that will come because that sort of... I don't think that's something that will come. It sort of undermines some points of the game in terms of, you know, your factory running and you're just speeding the game up kind of thing. So probably not. Yeah, I think probably not. However, the main issue when people sort of complain about nighttime is saying that it's like too dark or too scary or flashlight isn't good enough or whatever, or it's too dark in the factory. Especially can't see anything there. The main issue isn't lights there. The main issue is nighttime sucks. You know what I mean? That's the core problem. Nighttime shouldn't be a problem, but it is for many folks. That doesn't mean we shouldn't have lights. Lights will definitely be cool, but the main issue is that nighttime has a problem with it. So we can try and fix that first, or alongside with lights or whatever. What will the next update have? So the next update, as I mentioned before, will come at the end of October or beginning of November. The date is October 27, so I don't know when in November it's gonna be released. They seemed pretty confident when they said October 27, but I'm not confident. So yeah, in that update, we're calling it like 3.5 or 3.75 or fluids update, which, as the name suggests, there are gonna be updates to fluids. And I can't say what that is yet. What we're gonna do is tease it starting from next week. Way back when you used to do these like teasing beauty shots, and we're gonna start teasing some new features as of next week. So you can see what's gonna be coming up, as well as not just tweaks or updates to Fluid, but there may be some new features in there too. We're gonna see how we go in terms of getting that done in time. So that's what's gonna happen with that update. You can look forward to that. Gonna be good. Will there be a Jace poster? If there's gonna be a poster, it probably should be of Snoot. Or me and Snoot. Because Snoot's lovable and everyone hates me. Will there be an official peaceful/passive mode where there will be no hostile creatures at all? Similar to kind of something that I said before regarding randomness in the game. If that happens, that would be as like a separate game mode, right? So it's something that could happen if we have game mode support. So many people have suggested it. It makes perfect sense in my opinion, and I think in the opinion of many other people. And along with that, like a creative mode is something that people have suggested too, something where everything's unlocked and I guess, you know, there's no cost to anything and you just go ham and make whatever you want. So I think things like that, you know, could come along. How do you guys feel about an underground biome? I mean, it feels like a good idea. I don't like the idea that the spider things, there'd probably be more of them. But anyway, I asked the level designer about this, and she said that she would love the underground biome as well. We had plans for it, actually, and because of time constraints, we couldn't do it. However, that idea is becoming more feasible, so that's pretty cool. There's definitely a possibility for that now. I thought it was a hard no, but that has changed. That doesn't mean we're gonna have it, okay? I'm just letting you know that the situation has changed with how we're doing things, and it may be a thing now. So we'll see. Okay, so that was a lot of questions, and I hope you enjoyed them and got a lot of information out of them. There was definitely some new stuff. There was still a lot of I don't knows, but it's always I don't know. I'm just answering your questions, fam. And so I just want to quickly let you know that of what we do. So on Tuesdays, we have streams at twitch.tv/coffeestainstudiosdevs every Tuesday at 4 p.m. CET or CEST, whatever the time zone is here in Sweden. And so starting next week, we're going to be teasing some of the update stuff. So you can expect on Thursday next week some beauty shots and some teasery stuff, so you can start figuring out what's going to be in the next update. So that's something to look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can smash like if you want. You can smash dislike if you didn't like the video. And you can also smash subscribe if you want to keep up to date with some new stuff and get some new content. Thank you all very much for watching. Bye. I'm bad at these, all right? Bye. Just get out of here. Do you plan on adding? Will we ever be able to do something with nuclear race? Whoa! I see Satisfactory as the I actually haven't heard of the me in the ass. Jesus. It's not funny. It's not funny. There's nothing funny about this. It's really stupid. It's not funny.